Smiling evening to everyone. So before we talk about this session, so this session has got a clear agenda. Okay. So this session is, again, I'm telling to all the participants, it will be completely hands-on. There won't be any kind of theory, but it will start off with fundamentals. Okay. So I will just demonstrate this session with an agenda. So there are 3 case studies. I hope I'll be able to explain you 2 case studies. It will be an interesting case study. One is how in a domain called trains, how we can use RAG and how to work with a lot of text and PDF things. Second is, it's a funny example I took. Suppose you have a biodata of boys and girls and you want to do a compatible matching with the AI. How can that happen? Okay. And the third example case study I'm going to demonstrate is extracting text from PDFs and understanding that. Okay, so I hope this is the agenda, guys. So you can use your chat box, you can use your reactions as well. Hope you got the agenda clear to everyone. Clear? Yeah. So yeah, before we start off with this, we will talk about first what I'm going to talk about. First, I'll talk about resources. So before I'm going to write code or demonstrate some code here, I'm going to talk about what are the basic libraries that I'm going to use. Okay, I'm going to use some of the libraries here. I'll talk about that libraries. But before I talk about that libraries, my first requirement, if you see my first example that I'm going to work here is on train ticket analyzing. Okay, so if you can understand that, um, yeah, so that is what we have done here. Okay, that's a beautiful thing what we're going to do now here. So guys, so demonstrating this example, what is the train ticket example I'm going to do is, I'm going to demonstrate an example of a train ticket. What I'm going to do with this example, a case study I'm going to demonstrate. See, I'm going to upload a document and that will have all train schedules. I will basically embed that text chunks into vector DB and using a library called FIASIS, and I'll be searching over the schedules of that using queries. And then I do a ticket booking with PNR generation and then PNR status. So we are actually doing this recording. Okay, we'll be able to do that. Yeah, so this is a outcome of this first case study. Okay, so before I take this case study examples, okay, I'm going to write this case study example with demonstration of code detailedly. Okay, so this is the first case study we're going to talk about, that is train ticket. In this train ticket case study, what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain you how can we document uploading, how can we chunk, how to use all the set of libraries that will be demonstrated very clearly here, guys. So I'm going to write some code now. There is nothing I'm going to do theoretically. All is going to be complete Python hands-on coding. Okay, I hope everybody is yeah, you can write code along with me parallelly if you are comfortable, but I think you should have the setup do that ready. Okay. So I'm going to do now hands-on. So everybody is comfortable to understand this, say, examples or case studies. Every audience has to be familiar with Python. If you're good right now, if you are, most of you are familiar with Python, I'm very confident, guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate very nicely the code example. I'm going to write the code. Mostly I'll be able to write in a code in an hour time, completely hands-on. So you can feel writing comfortable along with me, guys. Okay. So firstly, what I'm going to do is my requirement. What is my requirement? So if you look at my example, what I'm doing is my outcome is I have to basically, I've explained you already now, guys, here. So my plan is actually what I do is I will first write a document uploading code first, because I'll have a document that will store all the train schedules. So for this first requirement, I'm going to write document uploading and checking the train schedule. So for that, what I do here is just observe that coding, guys. All of you are ready, right? Yes, are you smiling, guys? Yeah. So I will write for a document uploading coding. I'm just going to demonstrate that example for everyone here. So feel comfortable, guys. Okay. So first I will write a function called as def. So this function is called train schedules. Okay. Inside this function, what I'm going to do also and demonstrate, I'll open a file, okay, a text file something, and inside that file, I'm gonna store all the train passenger details information. Okay. So for that, what I'll do is I'll write here. So first I'll write a function train schedules. I'll use a with keyword and I'll open a file. Okay. So name of the file I'll write down here is train schedules .txt. Okay. So I'll specify what is the mode of this file thing also. So let me specify it as a write mode. Okay. I'll specify it as a write mode. Okay. So once I specify this write mode, I will take this. Why I'm using with means what I can open a file at the same time. What I can do is I can basically do two things here, guys. I can open the file and also automatically close the file. That's why we use with here. Okay. So I'm going to write a train schedules here. I'll do f dot write. Inside this, I will specify some train schedules. So let's say train 1203 or something. That is, make me write it as Bangalore to Mysore. Okay. In the same way, I can add a lot of data. So that's my goal is to add this data at maybe I'll write on at 6 a.m. something. I'll just write down 6 and /n. Okay. And then I can add another train because train again, I can write here train is 456. That is Chennai to Hyderabad something. So you guys feel comfortable, write code along with me, guys. You will be able to write down this everything. Okay, and here this also I have to put it as in double quotes. Now over the period of this examples, what you are demonstrated, I have written this. One second, what's the problem here? Okay, I haven't used here. One second. Okay, that should be fine. And then I haven't closed this thing. Okay, let me close that here. I think I have to close that here. Okay, that's fine now. So now what I have done is I have opened a file, okay, in a train schedule, and I will write some train details. So my goal is that only, as I showed you, first document, upload a chunking train schedules. So generally in real time, what will happen? You will get all the train schedules using API. Now here I'm just demonstrating a small example, document uploading and chunking using a train schedule. So this I can upload a lot of details. I'm uploading two trains. One is Bangalore to Mysore, one is Chennai to Hyderabad. Okay, and mention that also at. Okay, and it is, let me make it a 7 something time. Okay, and then /n. Okay, that is fine. Okay. Now, once this is done, what I can do after this? Look at my next step. What is my next step? Document uploading, chunking the train schedules. Once I upload this, what can I do? Hello? Once I can do this, what can I do, guys? Hello? Yeah, any suggestions here? So what
Turn
can
into vector data.
Yeah, so once you pass this data, so what you can do is you can basically do two things. I can embed this, I can simulate some text chunks into vector DB, right? I have to do that, right? So to simulate that into vector DB, what can I do here? Yeah, so I can basically write something like this here. Okay, let me write one function called main. Okay, it's modular approach of coding. Inside this function main, let me call this function called as train schedule. Sorry. Call this function called as train schedule. Okay. So once I call this function train schedule here, and then this is gonna call this function, and that's gonna write this data into the file. That is fine. Then what I'll do is I'll write one more function named as upload. Something I can write down here is upload schedule. I'm writing the core logic, guys. So please write the code along with me. I'm someone who can write very slowly only. Okay. So I'll take this as something, I'll take it as PDF path or something, text path or something, I can take this. So inside this train schedule, should I pass here this text file? Yes, I have to pass this text file. So pass this text file. Okay, not in this train schedule. Then you pass this in the upload schedule. So in this upload schedule, what am I going to do is, I'll be passing the train schedule that will be coming to this PDF underscore path. Now here, what I'm going to do is I have to extract that. I have to first of all extract the data. So this data is in text file. So how do I extract this, guys? Anyone tell me how can I extract this? Okay, how do we extract this? Anyone? Extracting the info, yes.
Read from the file.
So now there is an important point. So yeah, absolutely, you're correct. So what we do is, once I upload this schedule, I'm uploading the schedule from a text file. Okay, it'll come to the upload schedule. Inside this upload schedule, I will basically take this PDF, that is file path. So how do I extract this thing? So I have to extract that using a library called fits. So what I'll do is I'll write down import fitjet. Okay, now you can see this. This is a library, I'll be importing it. Okay, so just to save this now, let me save this. Yeah. So, what's happening here? Okay. So once I do this now, so I'll demonstrate why we are using that also. So you can go and see what's the use of FIASS and fitjet. What is this fitjet? So for someone who is very new to this, I'll talk about that. Fitjet is actually a very good library that is being used for GenAI and RAG systems. I'm going to use that only because if you want to work with any kind of PDF or alternate in terms of this thing, you can, this has good features in speed and accuracy. It will extract text more cleanly, and that's access, you can access that text, or you can access the document in pages also, page wise access you can do. Images also you can access from the document. To do all this text, you can extract any text also, paragraphs also. For doing all this, we use this library called fitjet. Okay, that is one of the important library that I'm going to use it for today. So that is what I'm demonstrating here. Okay, so what I'm going to use this library, and this file has text file. So this text file content, I'm gonna already got this information to upload file. So I will make it more modular, this code. I don't want to make it, I'll write down something called extract text, simply for your readability from, it's something I'll write in its PDF or anything, anywhere. So that will again take this variable PDF path. Okay, so it means I'll be communicating this code, how, I'll call this function extract text inside this upload and pass the PDF path. That means the file path of a text file. It's not PDF path. You can, if you want, I'm passing your text path. So better say text path only, because I'm passing a text file only. If you want to extract PDF also, you can extract. Okay, so inside this, what should I do? Inside extract, what should I do, guys? Anyone? Nothing. I'll use this library called fitjet. So I'll use fitjet dot open. Inside this, I'll pass the file path. This text part I'll pass. Okay, and that will return me an object. So always remember this open will return me an object. So that return type you can pass something called document is equal to. Okay, once you get the document, is this clear, guys? Okay, so I'm going a little slowly to make you understand modular code only. Okay, but we'll be able to comfortably complete this. Okay, not going to take a lot of time for us. Only one business logic will take. So once this, I open this file and text this. So what can I do after this? So what should I do here, guys? Any idea? Hello? So anyone tell me what should I do further here?
Return the content
No, I will just
back to
some
upload.
logic, small business logic. What can I do here? So can I do one thing? Can I take a simple example here? Just think of it. What can I do here is, so can I, yes, any thing here? Hello? Okay, nothing to worry. I will just write like this logic. So I'll try to extract the data from this document. So you can see that I've written as a PDF file. So what I've done is I told you here first the formula. I'll embedding simulated text chunks into the vector DB. So it means what I'll get the text data from that in the form of chunks. So how do I get is I will nothing do here. Just have a detailed understanding. I'll write a for loop for variable name is page in document. Okay, and this loop will happen. Okay, and this loop will iterate, and for each iteration it will get some data in the page now. So can I take this page, and when I iterate it, can I get, I'll use a function called as get underscore page dot get underscore text. I think page dot for page in document. Yes, fine. So this page should allow me to get a text. Okay, 1 second. So you write down here a list here. Okay, so specify this list. Okay, and post this list. Specify here, I'll return this. And so what will happen is I will basically call a get text function. So what I'm doing is I'll loop this data structure, and that data structure is going to get me the data in that image in the text file. So that I'll call a method called get text, which will get me the data. So for that, I'll append with an empty string, and I'll use some join here. So that if I join, hello? Yes. Okay, so I'll do join here. So this is to extract the data which is there in that file. I'll be opening it with help of which set. Okay, any more questions here? So next I'm going to implement the next logic. So what is the next logic I'll do? I'll do some kind of semantic search. Hello? I will do some now. Okay, I'm uploading the train schedules that I had done it. Now I can do one more thing. Now I will do a chunk. Now I will do the chunk testing. Then I can I do that other part of it. So then I can do a search over that train schedules. Okay. So before we do this, ready or not, guys? Yeah, last I will do ticket booking part. So ticket booking part, I'll also write booking ticket. That function also I'll implement it. Then generate PNR also I will do that. Okay. So I'm implementing all these aspects very detailedly. Any questions, audience? I hope everybody is getting. If you have any questions, let me know. You can use your chat box. You can thumbs up. I'm doing everything from hands on because it's a new tech. You all have to smile. That's my agenda. As a community member, I'm helping all the smiling coders here. Hope all of you are with me. Smiling, guys? Yeah, at least one thumb and smile. So we have done one small function module code using that. Okay, good. So next we'll go a little more depth. So next, what I'm going to do next implementation, let me go more in depth. So once I go to upload schedule, I extracted this data. That's okay. Then that data will return me this. This return value I'll collect here. So how do I collect this? I'll write down text is equal to. Okay, super cool. Now I got this text. Now this text which I got, I have to convert into chunks. So how do I convert into chunks? So I'll write one more function called what? Chunk underscore text. Is this clear or not, guys? So this will take a text and I'll take a default value, something size is equal to 100 or something you give here. Okay, inside this chunk text, I will use this text and I'll try to use split. I'll split this data. Once I split this, I'll get words. That we all are aware of that. Okay. So this words, then here also I will the chunking part is I will return here. I will return here return of I will, here also I'm supposed to do loop only, guys, now. But how do I loop here is, for loop, I'll do I in something, range of, okay, I'm going to loop with based on the words, length of the words, okay? So loop it from 0 to length of this data, okay? Length of the words, comma, should I pass? I will pass here length of the words. Yeah, cool. Okay, maybe I'll pass here, comma size also I'll pass, better. So this size is what I'm getting here, I'm passing it. Okay, so all the smiling coders, very much focused. End of this session, I'm telling confidently, you will get a lot of confidence that you can implement, at least with RAG, some kind of implementations. I'm confident, guys, just focus. So in this size, what will I do is, I will write a list, because the end of this iteration, each data will be stored in a list. But how will I store it in a list is, I will write a string, empty string, that will be joined with this iteration value. Okay, maybe if you want, I can do this join. In this join, so I'm going to add here, because when you do iteration, for each iteration, the value of this string, I'll be joining with the value which is coming from this words. So I will write here words. In this words, I will specify what is my loop. My loop is ranging from 0 to. So can I write down here I colon I plus the size of this thing, whatever I've given. Okay. So this should be the value that's happening here. So this is going to be chunk the text. Okay. For chunking the text, I used a library function split. And then I'll get this words. I looped with range 0 to length of this words with a size. So when you write each time loop, for example, 0th index, for 0th index, you will add this string, empty string. You will join with whatever data is there in the words based on this index. Means this is slicing only. So the slicing data will be added to the string. That's it. So this is I means initially 0, 0 to whatever is the data. So this from the 0th index till let's say 100 index, that data will be copied in each iteration. So that will be finally stored in one list. And that list will be, I will again collect here. Got it or not? So chunks is equal to, call this function called as chunk text and pass this text underscore path. Hope all of you are smiling with me. Very good. So I'm going with a very clear agenda. Document uploading means I created one text file. Inside that I put train schedules that I've implemented. Now embedding simulated text chunks. Now I only converted that data which is in text file. I gave it to a library called FitJet, which will analyze my data. I loaded that data into using that library and I extracted some data. Then I also converted that same text file, the data into chunks also. Both I have done. Okay. Now what I'll do is I will loop this chunk. Why I should loop this chunk, I'll tell you that also. Because the main idea is I want to basically loop the chunk. So my goal is also for two things. One is I want to store this, looping this chunks, but I want to store this in a database. Okay. This looping I will do this chunk. Why? Because I want to search the data query, or I want to store this data in some database. So how to store in database here, guys? Anybody tell me? So I want to create database. How to create a database, vector database? I'll create here, see, DBS is equal to curly bracket. So generally vector database here is a dictionary only, guys. Okay. Inside this, I'll create schedules of trains. What is that? Schedules. And then I will write that. Then I will write bookings. Booking is something I have to write down. So inside the schedules, I have to import one package. This is a very important package that is called import FAISS. Now, what is this import FAISS? That also I'll explain. So I've already put here. FAISS means it's a Facebook AI similarity search. This is actually a vector search library developed by Meta. Okay. It will help you to search, retrieve any embedded large data set which you want to access it. it will do it faster. Because you may get a question, Venkatesh, we have MySQL, we have Postgres, we have a lot of database. Why again this new vector DB? Because it can handle millions of vectors with lightning fast searches. It can find the most prevalent document, okay, chunk the query. It will not do, it supports RAM also, disk-based indexes also. But you may get a question, Venkatesh, normally, normal databases uses normal servers, distributed system. But for vector, they use a lot of high-level GPUs. They support high-level GPUs. And here, that internally the data structure and algorithms are different. And you may get a question, why you have to use this sort of implementation is, see, I have explored the hidden implementation of it, FAISS. I'll tell you last what actually happens internally and why we are using that library, okay? So before we first implement this with Smile, let's implement this. So I use FAISS. So I'm creating a database, schedules and bookings. In the schedules, I'll write, I'm creating a database, guys, FAISS dot. So what type of index flat you can write? I think index flat, flat L2. Okay. So what is this index flat L2? This is a class. FISS is a module. So inside this class, you have to specify any arguments you can specify. Let's say I'll specify here 7868, something you put. Okay. Then booking also, I'll specify key booking and value is FAISS dot index flat L2. Maybe I can write on same L2. And then I'll specify here size. Okay. Now you may get a question. Venkatesh, what is this? What is the meaning of this here? Why we are using this one? Anyone who knows here, audience? I want to make it more interactive. Anyone, guys? Want to explain? Hello? See, why we generally use this index flat L2 means if you want to perform efficient similarity search or nearest neighbor search over any kind of vectors, then they use L2. Remember that. L2 means if you want to perform any nearest neighbor search or similarity search, they will do this. Because FAISS is a Facebook AI similarity search. It is a library, they've used it for vectors which is similarity search or nearest. Why you are using L2 means L2 is nothing but a distance. Okay, that is distance between vectors. Okay, it's a simple, they use a brute force index that computes this. And why they use 786 is, that is a size, that is a base model. We are using base model output. For that, we are writing 768 actually, 768. Any questions? It is good for small data sets. That's why I choose this, guys. Okay, it is very good for small data sets and no training, no special, which ideal for embedding. That is why US. Suppose you have 10,000 embedded documents here. Suppose if you use 768, then you want to find the top 5 similar documents, you can query it very fastly. So if you have million of vectors also, yes, then you have to use a different one. Here there is something called as HNS flat, something we have to use it, guys, for faster searching.
One question.
Yeah.
What is the difference between embedding and the chunking, and how is it fitting into this vectors?
Yeah, I'm going to do that now. So you are telling about embedding and chunking, which I'm doing here.
Yeah, you were explaining that. You said two different words, so I'm trying to understand what is that.
No. See, chunking means I'm splitting a large text. That's it. Okay, so I'm just doing that. So embedding is it's a process of converting a chunk into a vector, dense vector. So I'm going to convert that into a vector. Now I'll just show you now, see. So what is this data now here? It's a vector data now, vector object, right? Now, see, if you split a large document into chunk, you convert that chunk, you convert each chunk into vector embedding vector. So that is where the vectors can be stored, that chunk data if you want. Okay, for searching or anything you want to store it, you can search it. That's why. Clear? Say chunking, if you have one full document, guys, we will chunk that document to chunk 1, chunk 2, chunk 3, and that will be, each chunk will be embedded to vector, and vector will store it in, will help us to do any kind of search or whatever that is. Okay. You can do with OpenAI also, we can search, do that as well as, okay. Now, okay, I hope all of you are smiling, guys. I can see a lot of smiling. Oh, one smiling Vishal is always there. Okay, and very good, everybody is there. I am very happy. Totally all of them are there. Okay, now we are going to the actual coding. Super smiling. So now we are going to, now what I'm going to do is just have a look at it. So I'll loop this chunks. So for, I'll do chunk in chunks. Okay, I'll take one variable chunks. This chunks value, I'm gonna loop it. So once I do this, now
Excuse me, Ankush.
sorry.
One doubt.
Hmm.
Actually, in line number 21, we are passing text part. We
Yes,
should be passing the text, right? Which is extracted.
correct. So this is where I am want to tell you that, because after extracting this data, we have to pass this text, absolutely. Because I am not supposed to pass, because already I have text path. So that I have already extracted in, that extraction is done. This data only have to pass into chunk text, yes. So that's correct. So that we will again, the same data, we're going to chunk it now. Okay. Extracted from that data, and then you're going to chunk it now. Okay. Correct. So then we write for a chunk in chunks. Then what we have to do now? Can we do one thing, guys? Can we now write? Now we have to embed, na? So how to embed this? So I'll write one function called as def embed, which will take text. Inside this, I think when you are embedding a text, so we will be doing some kind of transformation here. Okay, so transformation of data will be doing embedding means. So to do that, I think we will use a library np.random dot search. Okay, and inside this, okay, maybe I'll write on np.random.seed, I think. Sorry. Inside this seed, np dot, first of all, I'll import np, okay? So that is your numpy, I'll use numpy, okay? Import numpy as np, okay? And in this numpy, I'll use numpy.random.seed. Inside this, I will pass apps. Inside this apps, I'll pass hash of, I'll write like this. So what is hash is actually a function that will be passed this. This function will return you an object. That object will be again stored in apps. Apps is again that function. That function will take that return value of this hash thing. And then that return value is again passed to seed function. Okay. And this this one we will do some kind of some kind of operation here. So multiply with 10 into multiply with 8 or something like that. Everything is perfect, I guess. So then what I'll do here is I will write here return np dot random dot, I think rand one function is there, rand, correct. So this is a library. What I'll do here is, I told you already I passed the 768. That's the thing I'll be passing here. I'll pass dot as type. Inside this, I'll pass that the calculation into float 32. Okay, so this random dot rand will be taking some value and converting it as type float 32. That is what I'm returning here. Okay, but I am writing here one more thing. I'm taking here np.random.seed, and then that I'm just passing this text, and then I'm doing some calculations. Okay, so what we can do now is we are just doing some dummy embedding. I'm not doing any kind of real part of it, but generally why I have to do this, there is a reason for that. Whenever I'm having a chunk, I will call that chunk, I'll pass that to embed function. In this embed function, I will pass that chunk. Okay, this chunk which we get in the loop. Okay, so when I pass this, I will get a random I'll be getting a random value random thing from that thing, okay, to this vector, okay. So that vector will be there, okay. So what I will do is I will try to store this information where now I will store this data. Already I extracted that. I have basically first I have done extracted the data, then I have chunked it. Now what I'll do is I'll try to store this in a DB. So what is my vector DB is DBS. So use here DBS inside this is the key value pair. Na? So inside this, what is that? Schedules is equal to DBS inside this bookings. Okay, so you have to have schedules and bookings. So this I will write here. Inside this, I will try to specify dot. This inside the schedule, I'll add this. Okay, this is actually a dictionary, na? A dictionary which has key value vector. Na? So inside this, I'll add this value. This is data structure which will store this. Okay, what I will add is, so guess it, what will I add? I have to store this. What data should I store? Should I store a chunk or should I use what, guys? Tell me one thing. So actually in the schedules, what I'll do is, no, I'll not do like this. My better suggestion is, I will store in DBS of schedules. This is schedules, this guy, this database. In the schedules, I'll store I will store the value which is coming from this, which is coming, the embedded value which is coming from the vector. So that how do I store is np dot array. Inside that, I will pass a vector. Means np dot array will take a list. Inside the list, I am passing this vector. Okay. So that is something I'm doing here. Then post this, what I will be doing is I will create here one more thing. So one more thing, what I'll do is I'll try to create, I have stored here DBs. DBs is fine, that I have implemented here. Okay. But the main core understanding what we need to do here is we will try to now focus on the other aspects. That is now document store I will write. Okay, why I'm using this document store is this document store will basically loop the DBs. Okay, and the outcome of that will be a dictionary. So how do I loop it? For K in DBS. So when I loop it, I'll get again some data. That data which is going to be a new list. So it means what I'll try to put an explanation for you is that, so it is gonna get you some key, and that key is going to be there, and value is a list. So it means each time when you loop it, it's going to give the data in a new data structure. That is a key and value. Key is something, value. Key will be, it will give you a simple way to tell is that the document store is going to give you a dictionary. That dictionary will have a key and a value will be a list. Okay, that kind of return value, this document store is gonna do that. So here what I'll do is in this schedules, I'll add the np.array.vector. Okay, but inside this document store, okay, inside this document store, that is also a dictionary. Na? So what I'll do is inside the document store, I will try to store schedules. But that is a dictionary, so I can directly write append here because that is where I can use here append here. Because it's a list directly, it's a list now directly, so I can use here. Oh, correct. It's a list which, because I get a dictionary, key is that, value is a list. Na? So for this list, I can use directly append. So inside that append, I will be passing this, I will be taking the chunk data. So I'm splitting the data into two things, guys. One is the chunk data, one is the embedded data. So chunk data I'm storing in the document store data structure. Vector data I'm storing in the DBS. That is your vector DB. Inside that I'm storing into np.array.vector. Is this clear or not clear, guys? So then I'll say something here. If you want, I can print here. Yeah, something you can write on scheduled uploaded?
Actually, I have one doubt.
Please tell me.
Yeah. Currently, we are storing vector data. For the RAG application, we only need the vector data, right?
Correct.
But why you are storing doc store again?
Sorry?
With the chunks, why you are storing
Why
doc
you are
store?
storing dark store? Simply to tell you one thing is I'm just storing in two copies, one in DB, one in dark store. Okay, so it's not necessary, but I'm doing in both the case, both the things. Okay,
Okay. Thank you.
not necessary, but I'm doing it in data price because it's like imagine I'm just storing in two copies of same data, but generally why I'm doing that is also there is a reason for that because I'll give you an example. Suppose if I want to search trains, we want to search trains, there I'll search with the help of database. Correct. But after searching the data, I will try to get that from the doc store. I mean, I'll try to store it in the doc, return it from, if it is present. 1 second, guys. 1 second. There's some noise here. Don't mind. 1 second. Let me, okay. So let me help you here, guys. So that is the implementation I've done now. So what we will do now is we'll go back now, have a look, agenda. So agenda only we are following, guys, with smile. Yeah, I think now we have to implement some semantic search over schedules that we have to do here. Search is not implemented. This search I will start implementing next. Then I'll also try to implement some PNR status check part. Then booking part, PNR status check status and ticket booking part. I'm going to do this 3 steps now, guys. Okay. So I hope everybody is focused with me. Yes, I hope all of you are smiling. Okay, I can see some smiling face here. Vishal and everyone is there. Okay. So in the same process, we are gonna now start exploring some more details, guys. Any questions, audience? I hope you are enjoying this. Any Ravi, I hope you're there. Akshay, Kamal. How many of you are doing hands-on, guys? Can you just ping in the chat box? How many of you are trying to write the same code hands-on? Okay. Thank you, Vishal. Thanks you for following up. Yeah, we can see anyone here. Okay. Guys, yeah, let's do this, guys. Next, we are going to focus on that and then connect all that other concepts. Okay. Now I'm going to write down. Firstly, I will write down some other functions also. Yeah. So firstly, what we will do is now I'm going to write a function that is going to be for PNR status. I'll write one more function for ticket booking, booking ticket. One more function for searching the trains. Semantic search or scheduler. That 3 I'll write down. First, let me write down that functions. Okay. So first one function I'll write down here. Okay. So that function I'll write down is called check PNR status. Okay. And this will take some PNR. Okay, inside this function, I'll tell you what we'll do here. I'll tell you the business logic. Let me write down pass. So then I'll write down one more function here called as generate PNR. Okay, and that function also let me write down pass. Now I'll write one more function that is gonna be searching trains. Def search underscore trains. This I'll be passing some query here. Okay. Okay, and this I will pass here, pass empty only I'll tell. Now tell me one thing, guys. I'll make it very interesting for you. Everybody should be along with me, following me. Everybody understood embedded text extracting chunk upload schedule. That is also we understood. Next, the main part is book ticket. Now first I'll write down one function called as book ticket. Okay, book ticket is something I'm writing now. Okay. Now I'll explain this. I'll write down what I will be now, what I'm supposed to connect the logic here. So far, what are we supposed to do successfully is I think here there's some error. Okay, indentation problem. Okay. Now so far we are able to do everything properly. Now what have we finished as of now is we took a text file and the text file data which was here. Okay, we call that function write some data into text file. Then the same text file data we passed it to upload schedule. So upload schedule will take the text file data. Guys, I think there's some noise. You have to give me another 1 minute time. Okay, it's over. Okay. So we passed that data, the text file data, we passed it to upload text. It extracted that with the help of our fits library and extracted each data and joined with that data. And then we passed this text to chunk. The chunk will be happening, splitting the data into chunks. Then after this text and chunking, this is the main process they'll ask you. Okay, then we are looping that each chunk. Then we are embedding that chunk. Then we are trying to store that in a vector DB, that is DBS. Okay, and then in the chunks in the DB schedule and document store. This is what we achieved as of now. Now we'll implement this bookstore implementation, book ticket implementation. Okay, so see, that is what I'm trying to explain you here, guys. So just let's do this very properly here. So more detail. We want to be more detailed about this explanation. So book ticket, I'll talk about first book ticket. So what is book ticket will do is, from this only I'm going to implement the business logic of generate PNR or I mean, whatever it is, I'm going to do that also. Okay. So for that, please, may you guys have to allow me two important aspects here. One, as I'm smiling here, I hope you are also smiling. So what I'll do first is I'll go to first book ticket implementation. Okay. So in this book ticket, or I can go to first search trains also. So for search train, it's very simple. So tell me, search train will query which guys? Which one, guys? Search query will search train should query whom? It should query mostly the DBS database, correct? Vector database, correct? Hello? Yes or no, guys? So if I am search query, what should I do, guys? Hello? If I am having a search query, what should I do?
Search the vector.
Correct. I will basically search trains. I have to directly search, but is it good if I see? I will not do like this. First, I'll do embed, that embed function. In that embed function, I'll pass the query. What this embed function will do? It will give you some, this embed function will take the text and convert into hashtag, and then it gives you random for that. Correct. Now, what you do is here, this embed function will return you some data. So you take this vector. The vector is equal to embedded of query. Now, what in the search I'll do is I'll write a condition. If my DBS has any schedules, okay, and that schedules dot n total, that was my variable, na, is equal to what? 0. So I'm not going to, I don't have anything, no train. No train schedule, I will tell. That's the basic way. Suppose if I don't have n total is 0, means that's fine. Problem is that. Suppose if not, what can I do, guys? What's the other condition can I do? I can write DBS of inside this. Can I write schedules? Can I call to search it? What method I have to call? I have a search method. Use the search method. This is internal method of DBS. That is your vector DB method. In that search, what do you want to search, guys, here? Hello, guys. Whenever you are searching, you write np.array and pass this vector here. Which vector? This embedded vector. That is the type of the data. That is float 32. We pass that data. Then comma. So you can pass some k is equal to 3. Means you are specifying here search of np.array. Inside this, you are passing a vector. But this np.array will take this vector in a list again. You have to pass a list. Then you have to pass this K as an item that you have to specify. Now, once this search will happen, this will return you the value. That return value, you can store it in some value. So maybe I'll write on R or something. You write D, comma I is equal to. Okay, now I will, this D, comma I is actually the return value which is coming from the search. The search will return you that thing. Okay. So this value, what can I do, guys? Any idea here? What can we do here? So this value, return value is there. Now what I'll do, I'll try to loop it with the help of this guy. This will return me again a data structure only. I will be again a data structure. So what I'm going to do, you see, for I in, maybe write I in I of array of 0. Okay, I'm going to loop this data structure object. From that data structure, each object, whatever data you get, so I will store that in again schedules. That is your schedules, schedules. So that schedules are again an index I here. Okay, this I, whatever the data is getting, I'll store it in another data structure. That I'll tell you what is the data structure I'm going to store here. And that is going to be a list. Inside this list, I'm going to store this data. It means I'll loop this. Okay, after looping it, I'll store that in a list. So I will write here return. Okay, return. So what is the data I will return here? So that's the question you have here. Na? So what data I'll store, I'll return is, I will check I already have a doc store. So doc store is what? A key dictionary which has key and value. So what will I do, in this doc store, I will try to search here. So this is what I'll try to search here. So you can see here as an example is like this. So you can write here return doc store. In this doc store, that is a key and value pair. Key is schedules. Value is again a list. So in that list, that index, I'm trying to pass that index. So this index, it will try to search here. And I think, what's the problem? I'm getting error here. 1 second. Is it indentation problem? Okay. Okay, that's then perfect. So this key is this guy. Inside that key value is dictionary. From that dictionary, I will try to loop this data from this thing and then copy that into that, store it inside the document this, and it will give you a list only. Okay, a list will store that all information. So that's a process we are doing now here. So what is this search will do is, I'll again explain this so comfortably understand. The search, semantic search over schedule or using the user queries. So I am doing a query called search. So what is a search I'm doing? I'm using search. I'm trying to pass the query of this vector, and then I'll be getting this information and passing it here. Okay, smiling guys. So that's implementation of search is done now. Hope all of you are clear. Is this clear or not, guys? Yeah, now if that is clear, now I'm going to implement your book ticket, because book ticket is going to be the biggest example, because so book ticket I'll be implementing here. See, I'm implementing the full train details very detailedly, but yes, you can understand this. Even generate PNR number, we generate random numbers. Now, if you want a logic for generate PN number, what is the generate logic we write, guys? So PNR number is, it's a big number. Na? So write down here. Return, you pass an empty string, not even a single string. You join that with join. Inside that join, pass random, because we have to pass a random PNR number. Na? Random dot choices you take. Choices. Random dot choices is not working. I have to import that package then. Okay, then import that random package. Okay. So write down here the package name random.choices. Inside that random.choices, for the generate PNR, you pass here string, because I'm telling it string type I want. Random choices is string I want. I want it as to be string, okay? And then I want to tell that, so putting here string, and the second one I want is, I want to make it as, I think we have to take it as ASCII uppercase. And I want it, this one, from randomly PNR number should be 10 digits. I'll pass K10. Then I will pass string. I want it to be string only. Then I'll write ASCII underscore uppercase, comma, plus string dot digits. There is a string actually has one thing called digits also. Okay, I think I'm getting an error here. What is the problem? Okay, I have written random dot choices string. Okay, why? Because I'm getting the errors. I didn't import that string package. That's it, guys. Import string smile. Now you can see there's no error now here. So I have written import string. Okay. Then I have written here, what did I write down here? I think for ASCII also, I have done something wrong here. So maybe that is a problem you are getting here. Generate PNR number. For this, I have written ASCII underscore uppercase. Okay. Maybe I'll write down one variable ASCII. For ASCII, what I'll do is better is that's a way I can do it for you. So maybe I can specify here ASCII dot uppercase. Generally, 1 second. Okay, digits is working, string dot digits, and K is 10, fine. But when I write down here string, oh sorry, I have to write string dot ASCII dot uppercase. That's a method I have to use, because inside a string there is uppercase, then string dot what digits, then I'll pass 10 digits. In the 10 digits, I want a string which is digits, and it should be ASCII uppercase only. Okay, and then it's a randomly I'll get a PNR number. Clear? Huh? I'm generating a PNR number randomly. I hope that's clear. Then I have to implement only one of the function is called book ticket. Okay, so hope all of you are with me, guys. So let's implement the last one is book ticket. So in the book ticket, I'll be taking what? I'll be taking your name. I'll be taking here source, and I'll be taking here what? Destination. Then I'll be taking here what, guys? Date. So I'll be asking from the customers all three, na? Name, source, destination, and what? Date. If you want, I can print everything here, okay? Then here also I'll call embed, and inside this embed, I will pass this, anything you can pass it. I'll write down an info is equal to, it's a string, guys. I'll not do anything. Okay, embed means I'll just pass only name, then colon source, then to something you can mention. Yeah, you can mention to destination, and then you can write on date. So maybe you can mention on date. So generally, it's business logic writing is very easy. So you pass this info object to the embedded. So embedded will return you some object now. So you take that. So once you take this thing, because embed will take that info and return you that. Okay. Next, once this is done, what is it happen now? What is it we are going to do now? Anyone tell me in the book ticket, what should I do? The book ticket should store this information in which database? In this schedules only. But you observed or not, in the uploading schedule, I was writing the data into schedules. But in the booking time, I'll be updating into booking database, booking column. So how to update into booking column here, guys? Hello, smiling coders, how to upload it? DVS inside this what? Bookings. So what would I do here? All smiling coders. Dot
Append.
add. Now you can use add here because it is for that you have to use append. For the dictionary append. Here I'll add add. Okay. Good. So write down array, np.array. You pass here also same concept. So you pass inside this a vector. Okay. Same data you can again update in document store. That is your dictionary also. Inside this, you'll add one something called as bookings. So maybe you add bookings here, dot update. Yes. Append. Inside is append, update the info object. Means I'm storing this info. What is that information that I'm storing here? This I'm storing it in the database. Okay, smiling coders. Then after you book this ticket, this data is I'll take it and store it. Then I will try to generate a PNR number. So I'll call this function called what? Generate PNR number. And I'll take a return value or not, guys? Smiling coders. So take this return value here. So I'll take a PNR number. Suppose I implement this PNR number. This PNR number also I'll store it in, I'll take one more DB here. One more dictionary I'll store called PNR underscore DB. This is again a list dictionary. So I'll store inside this PNR underscore DB. Okay, that will be storing the generated PNR number. Generated PNR number, which I will store, key will be PNR number and value will be what? This information object. Clear or not? And finally, I'll print here ticket booked. In future, it is going to be all with agentic approach, guys. Okay, and it's gonna happen already with AI agent, because if you give a voice message in your system, it will take your source and destination of your train. If you tell, it will generate everything for you guys. Okay, I hope all of you are engaged. I mean, I hope I'm helping you to engage this, guys. Hope all of you are very interactive in understanding these concepts. Okay, so now in main, I have done only two function calls with Smile. One is train schedule, one is upload schedule. Then now I have to call, what is the next function I have to call? So let me call one function. I'll do one print. I'll search here, print available trains. Okay. In this, I'll try to call search trains. Yes or no, guys? In the search train, what train should I search, guys? Anyone tell me, guys, what train should I search for here? So what text I've embedded here? What is the text I've embedded here? So can I search here Bangalore to Mysore? Hello, guys. Can I text here Bangalore to Mysore? Hello. Yes, I can do that. So I'll search here that data. So print of available trains. Inside there, I'll pass search underscore train. I'll pass Bangalore to Mysore. Okay. Then I'll call book ticket. In the book ticket, I will pass the, what all I have to pass? I'll pass name is Venkatesh. Okay. Where do I want to go? Bangalore. So let's say I'll specify Mysore. Clear or not, guys? I'll specify the date also. 2025 5/4. Okay. And then that will take a PNR number. Clear, huh? When I do book ticket. Hello? Then last note I'll check my PNR status. That function I'll call. So PNR status function will be passed with what? PNR number. So there is a one more function called PNR status, check PNR status, that I have to call now, that I have to implement. So this is how you write a very good business logic, guys. Understand step by step and write the business logic. Okay, any questions? All of you are smiling, I guess. I could do the implementation for you. Yes. So inside this check PNR status, what can I do here, guys? So what we can do here? So can we, this PNR status, can it call this DB? PNR DB to check whether the data is there or not? Hello. So I can write like this here, guys. Return something I can return here. Okay. So it's a string I'll return here. Okay. So, or I can do one more thing here, guys. Very straightforward thing here. Otherwise, don't do anything here. Just write down like this here. If what I can do is, if PNR is in this DB, PNR DB, okay, then I will, if that is present, then what can I do is, I will try to call PNR DB dot get that whatever you are asking, the PNR number I can ask to get it. Clear or not? And I can I can store that. Okay. If not, what can I do here? Else, I'll say invalid. Okay, now guys, indentation problem. So that's a way of writing this superb code. So hopefully everybody should be able to run this code and run with smile. Okay, so my code is giving you, okay, so there should be some issue in this code. 1 second. So what's the problem in this code? Let's figure out this. So you should be able to see a simulation of output, but yes, but there's no output here. 1 second. Is it calling this function train schedule? Is it train schedule is happening or not? Let's trace it here. I think 1 second. Okay, it's compiling the program. There's no error. Okay. So let's try add some traces here, guys. Okay. Entry of main. Let's say print entry of main. Okay. And exit of main. Yes. Sorry, I will just run with run Python file. Okay, so there is, what's the problem here? It seems to be having some issue. Okay, 1 second. Why this issue is there, I'll know it. Because I wrote a main function, I didn't call that main function. That's the reason. So do the call that main function. That's it. Now the program output will come. See, and it's not output. I've started getting a lot of errors now. Okay, no problem. With Smile, we'll fix these errors. So what is the first sort of error we got, guys? What is the sort of error we got? Embedded of chunk, that's giving us an error. What it says, np dot random dot seeding. It says that, 1 second, let's go to this error detailed clearly. Entry point and this line number 85, upload schedule in this thing. Okay, there's an error at np dot random dot seed. Okay, so it's an error that it's giving error. Seed must be between 0 and something. Okay, so now I think that's a error I'm getting. 1 second. So check this here, np dot random dot, okay, np dot random dot seed. So in the apps I'm passing hash of text. Okay, 1 second. And then I'm writing this. 1 second, guys. There is a problem here. 1 second. I think there is a problem here. Okay, see, basically when I write NP dot, because this should get a hash value, a number based on the content of the text. So this will ensure that there is hash is positive, because I want to okay, that I want to ensure that hash is positive and fits within the random seed only. That's why I've done this. So this random np.random.seed, if I'm using, it will generate a random seed only from that. Make sure that it shows that same text. You will get a random, for a text, you will get a random number. But if you write np.random. This guy, it generates a 768 dimensional random vector. Okay, between 0 and 1, uniform distribution it will give. And then converting that into that floating point number, we are converting it. This is standard format actually. But here I'm trying to convert that text and give you a random positive hash value. That is giving us an error. 1 second, guys. There is some source. What is a mistake I have done? Okay, no worries, guys. I will just I have written the same code here also. 1 second. So I don't want to waste your time also. 1 second. Go to train booking. Just look at this code. I have done the same thing here also, but why is it okay? You can see the same code here. I've written this, run this Python file. So you can see this guy. So if you see the same program, nothing, I have not done any changes, guys. So I'll update a train schedule first. Okay. So this is available train schedules I've uploaded. Okay. Then my ticket booking also got PNR number. My PNR status, Venkatesh Chennai to Hyderabad also, it's available, it shows. My status of the ticket also, it says confirm. Because all this is successfully working. Maybe here also, see here, same thing I've written, guys. I'll open a file here. Okay, I think the reason of my code error, I got it. So the reason of my code is, so I was just calling this, okay. So if you see here, I was just opening this file and the same file name I was passing. So same, I was just doing same thing. I just opened a file here. I called a function called train schedule, and then I opened a file. Yeah, absolutely. I passed the same file name. Yeah, absolutely. It should be same file name. Okay, so that's all fine. And so this code also should be sort of working. 1 second, let's see. Maybe let me just add something here, guys. Let me do one thing. Add this line here. Let's see this. F dot write. See what is my F dot write? Let's see. It was only one. Now let me add more. So let me comment this guy. Okay. And this is Chennai to Bangalore. And it has Chennai to Hyderabad. It has Delhi to Mumbai. So let me change it to here. All these changes I have to do now. Here's Chennai to Hyderabad. Okay, it has been implemented with Chennai to Hyderabad and Chennai to Bangalore also, correct? So you can change this inputs and let's try this. Chennai to Hyderabad. Okay, and then pass this data. PNR number is passed out correctly, I guess. Let's just try this once. Not much difference, but let's give a trial here. Okay, my error is this guy. Okay, let me go to this random seed here. Anything I've done, let's figure out that problem also. Go and copy here and see any difference that I have done implementation level. Okay. Anything mistake, guys? I don't see anything I've done here. Okay, but let's see this figure out this guy. Return you a random. Okay.
There you use three brackets.
That's something crazy thing I've done. Yeah, let's see now. That's a problem, I guess. Okay, what's the problem I'm getting now? It says an error is that key error is bookings. Okay, got it. So maybe what is my key booking? So I have to use what here? Bookings. That's a problem, guys. A small mistake we do sometimes. Bookings, bookings, booking. Yes. Super cool. Booking. Yeah, with fun we are doing this, guys. Yes. Super. Now I got an error. Not schedule is available. Trains are going properly. Yeah. Entry main is coming. Exit main is coming. Ticket booked is printing. But PNR status is not coming. We need to check the CNR status. Okay. And that is something PNR status, why it's not coming. We need to check that. Anything I've done wrong in this PNR status, written something, print the PNR status, check PNR status. That's not happening. Check the PNR status. Maybe in the train, search train or book ticket, we need to see what logic we have written and that PNR status. Book ticket is this guy. Inside this, I'm calling generate PNR number. This PNR number I'm updating here also. Return this PNR number. Okay. Check PNR status. Check PNR status is this guy. If it is not there, it says invalid. So I think it's not able to find in the DB. Okay. Then I'm not returning here, correct. So this is one more problem. So we have to do what here? Return here, PNR, REL. Yes. So now run this code. Yes, successfully we are able to run this program. No problem. I hope everybody is smiling. Thank you all for your smile and patience. Yes. Any more questions here? All smiling coders. Any questions? Yeah. The first issue was I was writing, the lot of, you can see here, I was calling random.c. I was passing apps of text of something, but I was writing an extra bracket here. So what happens is it will take whole sort of data, return value will go wrong. That's what the problem. So that I have sorted out. One extra bracket was there. Then second sort of problem was I was not returning here. I was collecting this return value, not collecting the return value. Okay, that's a sort of error, guys, not returning. That was the first issue. That's it. Okay, thank you, Vishal, for coding along with me. Yeah. So, yeah, so this is the thing. Now we will walk through to other examples. Yeah, hope all of you understood this agenda. So we will just end this session in just a couple of minutes, guys, but be attentive, guys. So I hope all of you understood the case studies of train ticket now. I think I have the biodata boys and gays compatible matching, that code also we have. That is something a small startups which are doing that. I have done that code completely. I can demonstrate that also. Extracting text from PDF also we have that. I'll show you that also. So now we are good about this FitJ, and we know how to use that library to extract some data and do that. And we are also we work with FAISS library as well. Then outcome of this code, we are able to implement a small RAG, mini RAG, and book engine kind of thing. We can make it little complex, this code, but to make complex, then we need more time to do that. Okay. But we are able to implement this implementation properly. Similarly, for train ticket, we did this the same way. I implemented it for biodata. You can read boys biodata from PDF. You can extract some structured preferences, foods, hobbies, beliefs of them, match them with the Gale expectations. Okay, and save the boys profile in the memory JSON. And output compatibility, you can do that, guys. Output compatibility score, you can do. Matching traits, you can do. Okay, a similar way, you can do all other aspects. So I am here available in LinkedIn. If anyone wants to comment, connect to us, and comment about this community meetup, how it was, you can happily connect me over that, guys. So this is my LinkedIn. You can connect me over LinkedIn, Venkatesh DB. So that's that. And if you really, this session was really helpful for you guys, then you can also connect back to us. If you have, first of all, we'll ask questions and answers, and you can even rate our this meetup on CoderRange, you can also give your rating on them so that it makes us what value additions we are doing, and we can come up with a lot of things, guys. So LinkedIn profile link, yeah, definitely I'm going to share you that 1 second. So I'll just share you my LinkedIn profile, guys, so you can.
Venkatesh, one question here. Why you should take one DB and one dictionary? Could you
Okay,
please elaborate that?
I will tell you that. I'll tell you that. Once again, what is the problem? Meeting group chat. Okay. I hope I'm able to share the link. Everybody is able to understand, get the link. Okay. So your question is related to why we have to use a dictionary and why we have to use a database.
Mhm.
Correct? Okay. So I will demonstrate this example very clearly. If you have noted, see, I was storing in the vector DB the schedules part and booking part. Okay, which I was doing it.
Mhm.
That is something we were trying to do that here. But if you see the doc store, that is actually dictionary. It's a dictionary which has key and values list again. So where I'm using, if you observe this doc store, okay, first here I'm storing the chunk data, the schedules chunk data. Okay, but schedules, this doc store will store this chunk data, which is the chunks, but this fellow will store the vector, means the chunk whatever you have now, that information. The schedule will only store this embedded hash code information only, it will store. Now if you go here and see doc stores, here I'm using here. Okay, when you search the trains, actually, if you ask me here, when you search the train, I'm getting that information from where? I will try to go to the DBS schedules, that is your vector DB, and search that data. But once I search the data, I'll get this information. But from that information, I'll loop it, and that result of that data will be searched in the doc store. Why? Because I'm splitting the data and storing it here. So what are the two things I'm storing? One is the vector, that is the chunk data. That is the chunk data is nothing but what? This embedded data. That is nothing but I told you, this is the value that I'm getting it from the random generator, the random for that word, whatever is a random generated, that I'm storing it. See, I need both of them. Why? Because one is to figure out the associated chunk. One is to store the actual data. So
Okay.
actual thing, both I need. I'm just storing in both the places. That's why I'm doing it. Even when you check PNR status, I'm trying to go to this DB, not PNR status. I'm telling about this guy. When you're searching trains, I'm using, you can see that I'm searching with the, first I'll pass this a vector, the vector will take that random chunk data. From there, I will loop it and again store it in the doc only. So actual data we are trying to store like that.
Okay.
Okay, so any more questions here, guys? Any more Q&A? Guys, if you are available, we can take a group photo. If you are not available, then any more Q&A, guys? Okay. Hope all of you like this session. So if you have any more questions, you can ask me, guys. Then if you want to give some reviews, definitely we are accepting your valuable inputs. If you want to share your valuable things, you can share your reviews over CoderRange. Okay, so that will be helping us to build the community larger, and it will help everyone to grow together, guys. So thanks for attending this meetup. I hope everybody really enjoyed this. So we will catch you up with the next event.
Venkatesh,
Yeah,
can we see few entries from that doc store and DBS? Just print like how
definitely
that
we can.
looks, DBS
Definitely,
schedules and
definitely.
doc store schedules.
So to do that, simple, we will try here at last. We'll try to print. Okay, maybe you can do here only. Whenever you are storing it, let's do this here. First, you try to print your. See, this is actually all called transformation of data. What is that called? Data transformation. Which means you are changing the data from one format to what? Another format. Because we have to pass like this. So this is this guy. And I will try to talk about here doc stores of schedules. This will print you the other data. You can do one thing. One is data transformation of vector, you say. Okay. And now run this code. When you see that, where you see this, you can see that will give you a list. Can you see that? Doc store transformation. It is giving you what data? It is giving you a list. Hello? Okay.
Yeah, right.
If
Yes.
you observe this guy, which guy? One second. That fellow will give you like this data. That is data vector transformation. This guy. The vector transformation is come to NumPy. Means they'll transform the data into NumPy.
Mm.
So that's why you will be getting a NumPy. This is NumPy transformation of data. The same data which is also coming in the schedule, this guy. Actually, this guy is actually human understandable. Doc store is your human understandable format. I forgot to tell you this point. Because whatever we are storing in the DBS, that is the vector DB, it will be always numeric data, which I didn't tell you that point. Because they will transform this data and store. Who will store? DBS will transform the data and store. But doc store is actually the human readable format, you can tell, which is directly a list. Okay, thanks for asking this question. Anyhow, I was able to add you one more valuable point. Okay. Any more questions?
Yeah. So now, how it is actually related to the text and the vector? That's the question.
No, see, that is what they do transformation. So, as I tell you that if you see here also, once again, print of this is what transformation. So it's just okay to tell you that there is a lot of in-depth thing they did. Why? Because see, the reason of that is these algorithms are different. So when they parse data, they will expect you in a different formats. Now that is why they will expect you the transformation here.
Okay.
Now if you see, for example, you take I, this data you see, observe that data I, and you observe after that, print the doc stores of schedules also you print. Okay, and then you run this now. Yeah, if you observe there, search trains. I have added that. See, you what data you got here? Transformation. Completely data is list, but it is coming the information in this format, na? So they do complete transformation. Hello?
Yes.
And if you see, this is search trains. Finally, this is the data. In doc store, see, you understand always doc store is your human readable format. Understandable format, so you understand it. The other one is not human understandable. That is actually the AI algorithm implementations internally, they do their transformations. So the transformations, I'll take one more session, how internally each of the implementations are done. I'm just familiar with some of them. What best I know, I can help you there. So that is what the transformation happens here.
So while you searching it, you transform that and match with this number, and then it will take to the doc store as a
Correct.
human readable form.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay. If you have any smiling suggestions or review, you can share it.